言うことは一つだけ。絶対負けねえ。ここは確実に決める。止めるぞ。俺の黄金の右腕はまだ死んでない。ゴールのすぐに今なら届かないはず。
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Nothing XS here with a new player analysis. I'm not feeling very great. I picked up something over the week and it's kind of left me a little drained. But I want to get this one out before I got any more sick. My eyes are sticky, everything's hot. It is what it is. And it's not because I'm excited about the Valentine's Day players, although one of them is pretty good. First off though, we're going to talk about these units. We're going to talk about Cid Pierre, the artistic super player. Then we're going to talk about Mamoru Izawa, Nankatsu's second attacking midfielder. Finally, we're going to talk about Zeno Hernandez, right hand absolute defense. And after that, we're going to have a bonus unit that we're going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about it yet. But anyway, let's start. So over here we have Cid Pierre, artistic super player. Basically, let's put it this way. I'm going to guess that they think that defense is not very artistic. If you missed out on getting Morientes and you don't need to run the old blue Pierre as a passer, the one that gets really strong with Napoleon on the field, then this guy is your other blue European forward. If you bought the Field of Dreams Pierre from the shop, that shot is a perfect fit here instead of using it on the unit it comes from. You guys might notice that the rate says SS or S. Well, the reason for that is because if you give him that shot, he has 70,533 total shot once limit broken. That is incredibly good. It's actually better than the World Cup 2018 champion Napoleon, so he's very, very worth it. Now, you won't probably want to keep the slider shot that comes with it, so you want slider, cannon shot, or Field of Dreams if you really want to put this unit to use in a blue Europe team, or maybe any other Europe team where you are hurting for some forwards, or maybe you want to have like the blue Napoleon and this guy and like Dreamfest Schneider, and then you wanted to put Brian as one of your midfielders. That's perfectly viable, and there is a way you could do that. Now slider cannon shot makes him a little bit weaker than World Cup champion Napoleon, but not by much, and definitely not by enough that you wouldn't consider running him, but it does make him an S tier striker as opposed to a double S. It is a sufficient difference because Field of Dreams is a 490 momentum shot, while Slider Cannon is just 455. For pros, 11k club shooter, high offensive stats. He has 9.5k dribble and 9.6k pass, and great skill support. And he has penalty area master, which makes him 15% stronger in the box. That is excellent. Also, he comes with a full attack. That's way more valuable than you think it is. It's really useful. Also, he's a hot boy. Cons, don't bother running him as an attacking midfielder. He has no defensive stats to speak of. Again, defense just must not be very artistic. He needs Napoleon to use his 2 better shots, and that means that you needed to use $79.99 USD to use his best shot. So that's a thing. So basically, he's double S tier if you spent money, and if you didn't, he's not. His team skill is 15.5 instead of 15.10 Blue Europe, and that kind of sucks. For a limit break, I would do the standard forward limit break 2203. 2505, 25025, and 2203. You could do the speed limit break, but I don't feel it's necessary. I feel he's fast enough without it. And frankly, you may want to actually take the dribble points so that you can have dribble as an option outside of the box. For his stats, he's got 981 stamina, which is really not that bad. You know, it's not insane, but as you can see, his defensive stats are in the 3, the 4, the 3, and the 3, so that's rough. That means that his in-match stats, he has 9.5k dribble, 11k shot, and 9.6k pass. But please, God, don't ask him to do anything on defense because he just can't. He's got 6.5 tackle, 6.9 block, and 6.6 intercept. That means that defenders are going to have a really easy time getting past him on offense when they actually have to try to deliver the ball to a midfielder or something. This guy's not going to be able to do anything about that. For his skill build, keep the artistic overhead kick. Obviously, you can't do anything about him. If you want him to be double S, then you want to give him S Field of Dreams, A full attack, which he comes with, A artistic dribble attack, which you'll have to pull from elsewhere, and a copy of A Slider Pass from somewhere else. So basically, listen, it's funny because how good Pierre is depends largely on whether you spend $79, well, $80 or not. If you manage to get Field of Dreams Pierre, this is the character you've been waiting for to give that skill to. Super worth dumping that shot onto him. It gives him 70k pre-buff, limit broken, shot cap. Good enough to really put pressure on every good goalkeeper in the game. Pair that with the fact he's got really high offensive stats. Besides shot, he's just a way good striker. That said, if you just have a dupe of the red one that has artistic overhead, that has slider cannon shot, you give him that, then farm the B dribble and the C pass. Listen, you don't have all the skills to really take a full advantage of him, but he'll still be able to be pretty strong. He's just not going to be as strong as you'd like him to be. It's wild that it takes so much money to buy one certain thing, and all you're going to do is feed that skill to somebody else. But let me tell you, this is the place to feed that skill to. Either way, Pierre is a great unit with good skill support and good offensive stats that anyone in blue will be able to put to use. He is a striker. He's a... Wait, where did second position go? Okay, well, I guess he's a forward. And would I go for broken? I don't know. If you have Field of Dreams, sure. If you don't, nah, don't bother. Second up, we got Mamoru Izawa, Nankatsu's second attacking midfielder. His subtitle is so long, I actually had to shrink the font for his subtitle. Now, let's talk about it. Imagine they made a weird version of Red Halloween Brian Cleaver, but they gave him 60% auto cut instead of somewhat balanced skills. Also, he gets an S Swift Interception that you can basically farm with copies of League Shop Wujin Ren and a significantly weaker long distance S shot. His big problem is that he's slow, and his auto cuts area of impact is low as a result. But hey, he's real cute. Look at his hair. Shit's great. Now, unfortunately, his S team skill is a 15. His skill team skill is a 15-5 green JP buff. It's a little sad since most newer colored region team skills are 15-10. It at least might encourage you to put him on the bench and finally stop running that Samurai Green Tsubasa. That way you can run true captaincy like all the good green players should. He's an attacking midfielder and a defensive midfielder. His role is basically clogger, but he's not very good at that since he's not fast enough to clog. And he's also a long shooter. Pros 10k shooting club, also decent 8.5k pass, and really good 10.9k intercept. He has surprisingly okay skill support in that there's a lot of skills he can learn, and his S shot is long distance, and he is cute AF. Cons, he's very slow. He's got no dribble, no or tackle. His block is terrible. He's got low momentum for all his special skills. All of his highest special skill caps at 415, and it's both the ones he has, which are Swift Interception and his Unexpected Attack, but also Shutetsu Trio Tackle is also an S skill with 415. The messed up part of that is that to even use the tackle, you would need Kisugi and Taki, and he doesn't have the stats for it. His team skill is 15-5 instead of 15-10 Green Japan, which again is a low blow. And just in general, like, it's just difficult to want to run an auto pass cutter with only with less than 4,000 speed. That's just really painful. Anyways, for his limit break, he's real simple. Shot, power, intercept, technique, all in. Don't bother with anything else. You can't do anything else anyway, so you might as well focus on what he's good at. Some of you are going to be tempted to split pass, intercept, technique. Don't do it. Just focus on his intercept because that's his only defensive option, and you're going to need to level up that Swift Interception S with the copies of Wujun Ren just so you can bully people out of the ball, because that's the way he's going to get the ball back. For his stats, 905 stamina, nothing crazy. As you can see, his stats allocation, he's got sub 3,000 tackle, he's got 3.6 tackle, 3.5 block, and 3.6 speed. 3.6 speed is absolutely terrible. He doesn't learn any kind of S high ball, so you're not going to put him as an attacking midfielder just in case. But again, 10.7 shot and 10.9 intercept, pretty nice. You know, there's actually merit to that. But there would be more merit to it if he was any faster. Compare him to Roberto Carlos, who's crazy fast and he has an insane S shot, and you'll see really the difference between these two characters. Even though this Izawa has auto pass cut 60%, which is what you would think would make him good. His pass though is 8.5, so you know you'll be able to use that occasionally. Now for skill builds, he comes with Unexpected Attack and Swift Interception. Teach him Precise Pass and Skill Dribble. I'm sure he comes with another. I don't actually know if he comes with any other skills. I didn't look. I didn't care. You can't use them. The problem with teaching him a dribble or literally anything else is that he's so bad at everything else that having them as side abilities to threaten with is not a very effective threat, because there's just no force behind any of it. And so if there's no force behind his skills, there's no power behind the threat. Swift Interception is going to be the skill you use for everything after limit breaking and leveling him up. After limit breaking him and leveling it up with copies of Wujin Ren. If you even plan on starting him, you're going to just try using that skill over and over with good reason. It's the only skill that will do anything, even if they guess right. Even if they actually like dribble and you Swift Intercept it, it's the only chance you have at getting the ball back. I rate him a B. He's not absolutely terrible, but he's just not... I think he's a bench player. Some people who only have him will start him. Say like he's not terrible. He's not going to be like only a gimmick character, but he kind of is totally a gimmick character. Go for broke? Nah. Oh, but at least he's a middle schooler, so that's nice for those of you who are trying to build a middle school team. Last of the 3 characters, and I don't know if least, maybe, I'm not sure. Zeno Hernandez, right hand, absolute defense. I got nothing. He has got 56.8k as a max catch with the skill he comes with. That's not very good. He's a little weaker than Dream Collection Zeno. He's red. He's some counters his agility strikers just a little bit because, despite being red, because his passive sort of overcomes the color nerf, and he beats them a little bit. So actually his weakest color is probably red. He has the biggest trouble against red units rather than green or blue. Post limit break, he's weaker than Red Mueller in full Europe, and he's weaker than SGK Genzo in full red, but his team skill is highly desirable, so there is that. Also, he's holding a glove in his mouth, I guess. He's got for pros, great team skill. He's better than nothing, and he's real handsome, honestly. Look at him, look at him bite that glove. Grr, just nibble on that thumb. Cons, there's a better red Zeno that you could have gotten already in the game, which is the punching one from the Dream Pot. You could be running SGK Genzo or Red Mueller. I have nothing to say about A tier goalkeepers. Anytime Clab from now on releases an A tier goalkeeper, it's basically just like, wow, congratulations, you released you really released that. Limit break, catch 25, power 25, technique 25, no reason to do anything else, even though he's got decent amount of punch, because you're not going to teach him the S punch, miracle fine save, or perfect fine save, or whatever, because that would be ridiculous. Stamina 1003, actually kind of nice. You know, makes him a decent backup to one of the actual good goalkeepers, because for example Mueller doesn't have that kind of stamina. In match stats, he's got 11.1 catch, 10.9 punch. Again, not far apart from each other. Not very good at high or low balls at all. It is what it is. For a skill build, keep the golden right hand. You can't do anything about it. Give him a silver left hand. He comes with double-handed punch. Don't use that. It's like 265 momentum. It sucks. If you can find the S perfect catch and you have a dupe, please give it to him, because that is 5 more momentum. You might as well if you're really going to use this unit. A golden right hand is also nice as a backup skill if you can find it somewhere. And C one-handed catch is really inexpensive and actually pretty decent for a C catch. Use perfect catch so you at least have a better chance to stop things. Double-handed punch sucks. Replace it with silver left hand. Don't feel bad about giving him the A golden right hand. Do that. I don't know what else to say. He's an A keeper. Go for broke. No, don't do it. Even if you need him, don't do it. Go look for Mueller instead. Now, for those of you who are whales or who have a lot of money and you have a lot of good units and have a lot of good teams, the video has effectively ended for you. This video is no longer for you. Thank you for coming to watch my video. Go down to the comments, leave a comment what you thought of the other characters. Go ahead, click like if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe over there. Become a member if you're interested by clicking on the link in the description to become a member. You know, there's a bunch of stuff there. So just go ahead and look through that, and the video is effectively done for you. So now that all the people who are experienced at this game and all that stuff have already left, I want to talk to y'all who are new or who just started and are looking to get better at the game, and you're trying to experience all the other things of the game, and you want to do it without risking your nice units. We're going to talk about Karl-Heinz Schneider, the Champion's Crown. This is a raid unit. Raids being these things that come around every so often. They're like special matches that you can play, and they let you farm kind of like free units that basically you just want them for their skill, and then you can level up the skill by merging them all together and getting like a decent B level or C level or some A skills too, but those are out of the rotation right now. So here we have Karl-Heinz Schneider. You know, he's pretty decent. He's not great, okay? Let's be real. A lot of people don't understand why this unit exists. I'm going to try to explain it. A lot of people aren't like me or you guys who might still be watching despite me telling you to go home. Who can make videos or own a bunch of units or basically buy property You know, I understand they may not be like you, fortunate viewer, who may have had a 700k team for a long time, or been playing for 6 months, or own a Lamborghini, I don't know, or just really any vehicle that's your own that is better than a used car. Many players are still new and figuring out what's going on. They want to see how the game works and how certain mechanics work, like the hidden ability evolution and the limit break. And it would be nice to have units that are good for those matches. This guy went from being a throwaway Garbaggio character that we used in the first month because we didn't have any other strikers, to a decent 40k unit that can help newer players try and farm raids and limit breaks, and particularly if they can't find the gacha striker, but they were doing pretty well, maybe with their reroll or whatever, and you just want someone in the meantime that can beat people up, dude, just get him. Go get him and hidden ability evolve him, spend the resources, he'll be decent. Pros, it's easy to get that beast skill to 60, okay? 8.3k shot is good enough to farm with. He has a 30% versus Genzo hidden ability, which is actually nice for all the events you're going to run into him. Also, he kills all junior youth Japanese players by 25%. There's not like a ton of them, but there's enough that will be kind of useful, especially in events again. Also, he makes all Japanese opponents 5% weaker. That's also great. And he buffs himself an additional 5% on the field, and also any other German players you might be able to play him with. So yeah, you know, he's got a lot of decent little things going on. Now for cons, he's really not for experienced players. They're not gonna find any use for him other than the non-Japan plus 7% team skill on the bench that he might be able to give them. Which, by the way, is also a good team skill for you noobs if you're trying to play like a non-Japan archetype. Maybe that's what you got a lot of when you rerolled. Then that buff will be pretty nice for you. Also, if you're trying to play like League or PvP or something and you don't have a whole lot and this is the only guy you've got up on the forward, maybe with like a decent other red striker, you can put him up there and the hidden abilities will be nice. Maybe you're running red Mueller, that'll make him 5% stronger. That will be kind of nice, and it'll also weaken Japanese opponents by 5%. Listen, this is good for those of you who are still struggling with the game. It's like a little bit of a buff for y'all to sort of be able to catch up, and also it will help teach you parts of the game. A lot of people on the Facebook were like, this is stupid, Clap's killing the game. You guys actually don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, I'm literally calling you out. This is actually great for newbie players, and it's great for like having in your back pocket in weird ways. Like if you don't have Dreamfest Schneider or the other Red Schneider, you might want this guy on the bench, simply because if you see like SGGK Genzo at some point during the match, you might sub him in because of the fact that his shot goes hog wild on that guy. Especially like those of us who farmed the Dream Pot Schneider to get like S99 fire shot. There is a little bit of merit in that. Anyways, he is a forward. His role is striker. I rate him for newbies. This is not for anybody else. It's not a double S, an S, A, B, or C. There's no rating like that for this guy because that's not what he's about. Also, he's cool, so if you have him, get him. For limit break him on 16 dribble, 16 tackle, and 18 speed. For those of you who don't know why that is, I recommend that you go to the subreddit. There is a link in the description. And then go to the top where there is a resources button. Click there, go to the wiki, and then in that wiki there will be a limit break guide that explains how limit breaking works. Click that, read up a little bit on the math. You don't have to be a super expert, but it helps to understand what the 16-16-18 or 17-17-16 splits are for. Also, shot 25, power 25, that maximizes the shot and power, and that's really all you're going to need. It gets him at a decent little bit of a shot. It puts him at like 9.8. That's not awful, and with the buffs, you'll be able to use them for farming. He'll be real helpful. Also on limit breaks, because they tend to make this guy one of the units that gets a plus 180% to stats for the limit break. He'll actually be really useful for that, so pick him up. Let's talk about his hidden abilities. He's got Wakabayashi Killer. It's 30% and it kills all Genzos. That's pretty nice because he's the most prolific goalkeeper in green and red, to be honest. And 30% is a big number. My team all stats plus 5. This buffs himself, Mueller, Margus, Chester, and Kotz. That's nice even though it's limited scope. The reason it's S is because it's basically a 5% free buff to himself once you get it. That's actually quite nice and it's worth to have. Opponent all stats minus 5%. That's a blanket 5% debuff to all opposing Japanese players. that would be broken on any other unit. Like, that's great to have, and on any other unit it'd be insane. It's insane on Tsubasa when it's -5% non-Japanese. On Japanese units, it's still crazy. Snow cover resistance. It's C. I guess the fire shot melts the snow. That's why he gets that. And special skill block cancel. Listen, if someone tries to use a special skill block on you, like Zhao or Brian, you outright ignore it, and you can use whatever skill you want instead. That's very, very good. You only do it once per matchup, but basically you can tell any hidden ability Robsons you run into to shove it. You'll be able to use your S or B fire shot, whichever one you teach him. It's fine. It'll be great. And so that, I mean, that's the ranking of his hidden abilities. Hidden abilities are great. You just probably aren't going to use them in that way. Also, by the way, since he kills junior youth Japanese players by 25%, pair that up with Wakabayashi Killer and his self buff, and he actually gets a 60% buff against SGGK Genzo, the one that just got hidden ability. And so we're going to talk about that in a sec. Stamina 995, actually really good. It means you're probably going to like fire shot 4 times a half. The B one, that'll be hilarious. Probably not that many, probably just 3 safely, maybe if you full power a little bit more. His shot goes up to 8.3, his block is his next spec stat, everything else is kind of whatever, but primarily because you can get a C dribble and a C tackle, that's what we're going to worry about. For his skills, all you need to give him is the C Kaiser tackle from a raid and the C Kaiser dribble from a raid. Give him the raidable skills, don't worry about anything else, just this unit's meant for you to learn about the game and have an easier time farming. Even if you're already experienced, you won't need anything else but these skills if you're using him as your striker for certain limit breaks though. But low-key, if you're crazy and you have a spare old S99 or S30 fire shot, you could give it to him, put him on the bench, and if you ever run into SGGK Junior Youth Genzo, put him in. Limit broken, his shot stat goes to 15,784 pre-buff against that Genzo. That means that if you fire an S99 fire shot against him, it's a 71,817 shot check against a 5% weakened goalkeeper in SGGK Genzo. But, you know, just if you're crazy. Anyways, that's it for everybody now. If you enjoyed this review, please click like. Leave a comment what you thought. If you have any disagreements, disputes, comments, requests, you know, just hit me up. Hopefully I'll feel better enough by tomorrow to be able to stream. I might look like a piece of garbage while I'm streaming tomorrow. I really hope I don't. My voice is doing okay, but the fever is not great. It is what it is. If you would like to become a member, again, just click over there down in the description. There is a link to the gaming.youtube.com page where you'll be able to join. Unfortunately, not everyone can. I've been asked to create an option like a Patreon. I don't know about creating a Patreon. I feel like Patreon is actually for content creators that use it for like work, and I do this just for funsies, so it is what it is. Anyways, guys, thanks for coming out here, and I hope to see you guys soon.